Good evening to all pro wrestling fans from all over the world of all shapes and sizes. Welcome to another Pro Wrestling Talk video brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube. My name is Blitzball Champ Jason Ingram. So, doubleheader review this time, and I do apologize for my tardiness. I know I'm a little late on getting this one, but been very, very busy. Like extremely busy, so I've had to play a lot of catch up. But we're here now. So, for this doubleheader review, I'm going to review TNA Against All Odds 2024, and then gonna switch gears and review WWE Clash at the Castle, Scotland. So, two big doubleheader reviews coming at you in this video. So, let's go ahead and jump right into the action with TNA Against All Odds 2024, which took place this past Friday, June 14th, at the, I'm going to try my best to say this correctly, at the Cicero Stadium, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong. In Chicago, Illinois. And had a pretty decent card. Really decent card. We had two pre-show matches. Two matches on the countdown to Against All Odds. So let's go ahead and jump right into it with our first match of the pre-show. Check it out. Alright, starting off, we had a singles match between Sami Callihan and the Octopus, Jonathan Gresham. Of course, these two had recently faced each other before, and Jonathan Gresham got the best of Sami Callihan. And, ever since this new gimmick, with Jonathan Gresham wearing the mask and, spitting up the ink, he's been a lot more dangerous. But this match was a good match. And I thought it was really interesting how things kind of played out with this match. But Sami Callihan did get him some revenge. I thought it was pretty interesting seeing Kushida show up kind of in like a laboratory coat. And he ended up getting a sample of ink from Jonathan Gresham. Just, he interfered and he was able to get a sample of the ink. But that ended up being enough of a distraction for Sami Callihan to take advantage and then finish him off with a Cactus Driver 97 and then pinned him for the 1-2-3. Sami Callihan gets his revenge with a victory in the opening match at Against All Odds over Jonathan Gresham. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with Gresham and Kushida going forward. I know they've had a little bit of a rivalry, especially since Kushida had an incident dealing with said Gresham ink. So we'll see what they decide to do going forward. Alrighty, let's go on to our next match. So this was the last pre-show match. Alright, we had the TNA Knockouts Tag Team Championships on the line as the team of Militia, made up of Masha Slamovich and Alisha Edwards, the current champs. And they defended the titles against Allysin K and Marti Belle, the Hex. Overall, pretty decent match. Definitely, it's good to see the Hex back together, especially in the picture for the Knockout World Tag Team Championships. So I thought this was really cool. And, I must say, for Masha not being part of the system, her and Alisha Edwards have been getting along pretty well since winning the tag titles. So they've definitely turned into a threat. They've turned into a threat. But this is a pretty good match. Definitely thought it went well. But when it was all said and done, Alisha Edwards was able to get the pin on Marti Belle after they hit pretty much a tag team finisher, pretty much like a Doomsday Bulldog, very similar to the old tag team finisher the Steiner brothers used to do a long time ago. That's what it reminded me of. But I definitely liked the finish. I thought it was a pretty neat finish. But Militia, still your TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Champions. I really didn't have any complaints, to be honest with you. Really didn't have any complaints. So, yeah, good match. All right, now we enter into the main card. So the main card started off with this tag team match. Okay, we had the team of Mike Santana and Steve Maclin taking on the very well experienced tag team of the Rascalz, made up of Zachary Wentz and Trey Miguel. I mean, after all, they are former TNA World Tag Team Champions. Anyway, a pretty enjoyable match. Definitely, like I said, it's good to see Mike Santana back. And even though this was a tag team match, it's at least good to see him back and doing singles work. And I think he will definitely do more singles work in TNA. So, looking forward to that. And like I said, this was a one and done team up between Mike Santana and Steve Maclin. And, you know, the Rascalz, they did their thing in this match as well. They definitely did their thing. But it wasn't enough to defeat the duo of Mike Santana and Steve Maclin, as they were both in sync throughout the match, had great chemistry, and pretty much Steve Maclin set up Zachary Wentz to eat a spin the block from Mike Santana, who ended up pinning him for the 1-2-3. And there you have it. Mike Santana, Steve Maclin with the victory over the well-experienced Rascalz. And, you know, they shook hands and embraced after the match. So, you know, we may not see them tag again, but hey, at least they teamed up, ended on a good note, got the victory. All right. Let's go to our next match. Going to go back to singles action this time. All right, check this one out. So this match, we have singles match between PCO and Rich Swann, who had AJ Francis in his corner. Now, I know AJ Francis did try to help out Rich Swann. He did interfere a couple of times to try to, you know, help give him an advantage. But honestly, this match really wasn't special to me. It really wasn't that special. You know what I mean? Yeah, it really wasn't special. It went pretty much how I thought it would go. PCO, you know, standing strong, getting the victory, hitting that PCO salt, which I still feel like he's not completely getting the full rotation, and I fear that one day he's going to land on his head doing that PCO salt. But, I mean, he hit it and pinned Rich Swann for the 1-2-3. Just, yeah. Not that great of a match, if you ask me. Just nothing really special. But afterwards, Steph DeLander comes out and responds to the love letter PCO sent, asking her out on a date. And she says yes. Well, she said oui, which is yes in French. But, yeah. So, there you have it. PCO and Stephanie Lander are going to go out on a date. Not sure how that's going to go, but hey, PCO gets the victory and he gets a date. I say that's a good night for PCO. All right. How about another championship match? All right. We had the TNA World Tag Team Championships on the line this time. We had the System, the champs, which are Brian Myers and Eddie Edwards. And of course, they had Alisha Edwards in their corner. They defended the titles against the Nemeth brothers, which are Nick and Ryan Nemeth. Big opportunity for them. And, you know, this is normally not a time that you see them team up. So this was very unique, very special to see the Nemeth brothers actually team up for a match, and hence it was a title match. Now, even though Alisha Edwards did play her role just in support of the System, also Dirty Dongo appeared, and it was definitely looking like Dirty Dongo was in the corner of the Nemeth brothers. But overall, you had a good back and forth match between both tag teams. And, you know, it was pretty enjoyable. It was definitely enjoyable. And it really looked like the Nemeth brothers were getting ready to win. Looked like they were getting ready to win. Moose did later come out to, you know, of course, in the corner of the System. And while it looked like the Nemeth brothers were getting ready to get the victory, 1, 2, and it looked like, I couldn't quite tell the angle because of how the camera was, but it looked like Dirty Dongo pulled the referee before he made the 3 count. I thought at first it was Moose, but I think looking back at it, it was Dirty Dongo, pulled the ref out, and then pretty much showed his true colors, turning on the Nemeth brothers and pretty much helping the System get the win. All Eddie Edwards had to do was clean up the mess, hit the Boston Knee Party on Ryan Nemeth, pinned him for the 1, 2, 3. The System, still your TNA World Tag Team Champions. And seems like folks were cool with Dirty Dongo's help. Seemed like Moose was a little reluctant to shake his hand, but looks like this is going to turn into a little storyline with the Nemeth brothers and Dirty Dongo with his sneaky betrayal. But the System, still your champs. All right. Let's move on to the next match. Alrighty. Had a singles match. Joe Hendry versus Frankie Kazarian. Now, said that Joe Hendry was supposed to be accompanied by Ace Steel, but you really didn't see Ace Steel until later. So, yeah. But anyway, these two had their match. It was a pretty back and forth wrestling match. You know, I definitely like both. You know, I've never met Joe Hendry. I have met Frankie Kazarian. Both are very, very great wrestlers. It had a very interesting finish. And, oh, 1 second. You want to come up for a bit? I'll pick you up for a bit. This is Gigi, everybody. Say hello to Gigi. A very interesting finish. So there was a moment where Kazarian pulled a foreign object from his tights. I couldn't quite tell what it was. I thought it was brass knucks for a second, but it wasn't brass knucks. Joe Hendry went to grab him. Looks like he was gonna backdrop him into the ring, and as he hoisted him up, Kazarian just hit him a few times, like twice, on the head with that foreign object, and he still got the backdrop, but I mean, Joe Hendry took the worst of it from the shots to the head from the foreign object, and then Kazarian just pinned him for the 1-2-3, and Kazarian wins. So kind of an interesting finish, not one I would have called, or especially that way, but yeah, interesting finish. He went to go beat down Joe Hendry some more. Ace Steel came out, got in his face, shoved him. Ace Steel shoved him back. Looked like he was going to attack him, and Ace Steel ended up dropping him. So, Ace Steel with the last laugh. And it looks like it is going to lead to a Chicago street fight between Frankie Kazarian and Ace Steel. Looks like for next week, according to Santino Marella. But yeah, or I think I said a Chicago street fight. Either way, it was a street fight is on the way. So yeah. I have to see how that goes. I don't even remember the last time Ace Steel even wrestled a match, to be honest with you. But hey, it'll be interesting, right, Gigi? Right, Gigi? All right. I'm going to put you down now. Okay. Good girl. All right. Let's move on to our next match. Got ourselves a championship, X Division championship match. All righty. X Division title on the line. Mustafa Ali defended against the Mustache Man, Trent Seven. Now, of course, at the beginning, Trent Seven ended up exposing Mustafa Ali with footage from a hidden camera about post-interview that recently Mustafa Ali had, and pretty much caught him talking trash about the folks in Chicago, and being that he's from Chicago, he got exposed for talking that trash on camera through that hidden camera footage. But there was that, and then they battled it out, and I have to say it was quite interesting because it looked like Trent Seven had the preemptive strike early, especially dropping Mustafa Ali with a 7-star lariat early in the match, and even hitting him later with a burning hammer, and that still wasn't enough to put away Mustafa Ali. I thought it was a very unique finish. Mustafa Ali hitting a 450 splash onto the knee of Trent Seven, and then locking him into a sharpshooter submission before he tapped out. And yeah, something you normally don't see, Mustafa Ali winning a match with a submission. You normally don't see that. But because he was able to do that, he is still your TNA X Division champion. And honestly, there's really no telling who's going to be the one to dethrone him. But I definitely like what they've been doing with him. So we'll see what happens. Definitely see what happens. Alrighty, let's go to our next match, and I have to say this was actually one of my favorite matches. I kid you not. So we had a special tag team match where we had the team of Josh Alexander and Eric Young taking on Ace Austin, Chris Bay, the ABC. Of course, ABC is trying to get back on track, their quest to regain those tag titles again. But this was a good, solid match, back and forth between two Two solid teams. Of course, the ABC, very well experienced team. Two-time TNA World Tag Team Champions, I believe. But they had their work cut out for them going up against Eric Young and Josh Alexander. But yeah, this was my favorite match of the card, for sure. Pretty much everything was going back and forth, and then a miscue, a mistake from between Josh Alexander and Eric Young pretty much ended up costing them the match, as Chris Bay was able to pin Eric Young after Ace Austin hit him with the fold for the 1-2-3, and ABC picks up the victory, and it's a pretty big victory, and I think that will put them even closer to contention for the tag titles. And speaking of tag titles, a bonus thing I wanted to throw in there, at the recent DPW live show in Chicago, Ace Austin showed up after Speedball and Jake Something, who are the current DPW World Tag Team Champions. Ace Austin showed up after their successful defense and let them know that ABC wants those titles. So maybe they'll get booked for the Tag Festival. Hey, DPW's in my home state, so just saying, just thought I'd throw that in there. I can't wait to see the ABC make their DPW debut. Okay, next up. Definitely wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about this one, because I know there's a lot of backlash with how this went down. So let's get into this one. So TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace hosted an open challenge. So open challenge from the Juggernaut. And who ended up accepting? NXT's own crazy girl, Tatum Paxley. Now, I know a lot of people were probably flipping out that it was her and, not somebody else. Okay, before I actually go into the match, because the match was actually pretty dang on good, let me stress a couple of things, okay? First off, Tatum Paxley made the most sense. Think about it, y'all. Did y'all not see NXT Battleground, where she was caught in a tug of war with Ash by Elegance with the Knockout Championship? So, I mean, why are y'all surprised that she answered the open challenge? Like, there really should be no shocker to that. I mean, it's great that, hey, WWE NXT representation, but why are folks so surprised that it's her? It makes sense. Now, the only other alternative choice would have been Roxanne Perez, at least in my opinion, because it would have been sort of the returning the favor. Hey, Jordynne Grace got a shot at Roxanne Perez's title. Roxanne Perez, she could have gotten a shot at Jordynne Grace's Knockouts title. They could have pretty much just, have her return the favor. And I would have been cool with that. I would have totally been cool with that. I would have been cool with that as well. But they went with Tatum Paxley, and like I said, it's totally understandable. It's like folks are flipping out because, it's not another big name. It's not another big name. Y'all need to chill. They have really just gotten this partnership underway. Relax. Give these promotions an opportunity to do some things. Like, we got to stop setting our expectations a certain way. Yes, we're seeing partnerships with WWE and Marigold, with WWE and Pro Wrestling Noah, with WWE and TNA. Like, that's great and all. The times have changed, and it's awesome. But y'all, give them a chance to work across the board. Like, these relationships are early. They're fresh. Fresh. Give them time to work. Give them some opportunities. Stop setting your expectations so high. Like, I gotta deal with somebody, you know, that's that way, and one of the discords I'm in. Folks need to be patient. Allow yourself to be surprised. Jordynne Grace facing Roxanne, that was a nice surprise. I didn't see that coming. I know she didn't. Y'all, allow yourselves to welcome surprises. Stop setting your expectations so high, so much. Like, let the surprise factor catch you. That's all I'm saying. And folks are saying Tatum Paxley's not a big name. I don't know if y'all been paying attention to NXT, but she's been utilized quite a good amount, especially since Lyra Valkyria's NXT Women's Championship title run. Did y'all forget about that? Did ya? Did ya? Not to mention, she even had a title opportunity for the tag titles against the Kabuki Warriors. Yes, I understand she's not a big name, but let's stop acting like she hadn't been getting utilized on a constant, consistent basis in NXT. Come on, y'all. Hating on her for no reason. It's ridiculous. It's like, come on, y'all. So what if she's not a big name? She's getting utilized. Consistently. But yeah, like, come on, y'all. Like, seriously. But anyway, the match. The match I thought was pretty dang on good. And, you know, it was a good spotlight for Tatum Paxley. It was a good spotlight for her. And, you know, I thought she did well. And, of course, know that she wasn't going to defeat Jordynne Grace. I mean, we all knew that. But still, I felt like she looked good. Felt like she looked good in a TNA ring. And, yes, Jordynne Grace did defeat her. You know, she put her away with the Juggernaut driver. But, yeah. I'm happy for her. Afterwards, Ash by Elegance arrives and tries to ambush and take down Jordynne Grace, but that didn't really work out too well in her favor, as it ended up leading to Jordynne Grace taking down Ash by Elegance and then pouring champagne on her face. So, yeah, I mean, let's keep it real. Ash by Elegance really isn't that much different from her time in WWE. I mean, let's just keep it real. I mean, she's been booked like a joke. She's been booked like a joke. I mean, let's just keep it real. But another successful defense for Jordynne Grace. Good for her. And she's going to be wrestling in Sendai Girls very soon. So definitely big opportunity for her. I believe she'll be taking on Big Hash, Chihiro Hashimoto. So looking forward to that. Okay. And then the main event of Against All Odds 2024. came down to the TNA World Championship, contested in a broken rules match. The champion, Moose, representing the system, taking on broken Matt Hardy. Very physical match. And like I said, broken rules, which pretty much no rules, no disqualifications, anything goes, all that kind of jazz. So, you know, it was definitely brutal, loaded with weapons and, you know, some pretty hardcore spots. Overall, pretty enjoyable match. Alisha Edwards came down, and even Rebby Hardy came down, which she looks great, by the way. She looks really great. She looked like she lost a decent bit of weight. I mean, she looks great. So shout out to Rebby Hardy. She looks great. But yeah, so she definitely got involved. Like her and Alisha Edwards, they brawled it out. But yeah, it looked like things were really going Matt Hardy's way, and it looks like it was set up for him to finish off Moose. But as Matt Hardy charged at Moose, who was draped across the table, Moose was able to pull Rebby Hardy in the nick of time, in the way, to the point where her own husband, Matt Hardy, spears her through the table. And then all Moose had to do was just pick up the scraps. Matt Hardy turns around and awaits him a spear by Moose that drops him. Cover, 1, 2, 3. Moose, still your TNA World Champion. The System still have all of their titles. They went to continue to beat down. And then eventually, Brother Nero, I knew you'd come. That's right, Jeff Hardy returns to help out his brother. And, yeah. The Hardys reunite. And I know they had, you know, some help as well, trying to thwart the opposition of the System. But, of course, the big shocker was Jeff Hardy returning, which there were rumors that he was a free agent and that he would be returning to TNA. So yeah, the Hardy Boys back in TNA, but the word is they are still technically free agents. So I don't know if they're going to sign contracts or what. I don't know if it's going to be a per appearance thing, but hey, we'll see. But yeah, no title changes for this show. No title changes. But yeah, pretty decent show. And for TNA coming up, I know they announced, there's a few other shows they announced. Like, we know we got Slammiversary on July 20th. That's the next big show coming up. Oh yeah, they also announced Emergence. So TNA Emergence looks like that's August 30th. And then Victory Road, September 13th. So let's see. Slammiversary is going to be in Montreal, Canada. That's July 20th. At the Verdun Auditorium in Montreal. Emergence looks like that's going to be in Louisville, Kentucky, August 30th. The Old Foresters Paris Town Hall in Louisville. Interesting. And then Victory Road will be September 13th, looks like. And that will be at the Temple Live Cleveland Masonic in Cleveland, Ohio. So those are your next 3 big upcoming shows for July, August, and September. So mark your calendars. Anyway, before we switch gears to Clash at the Castle, Scotland, here's a quick word for the sponsor of this video, Game Beauty. Check them out. As you continue to enjoy content here at Blitzball Champ Gaming, be sure you take a moment to check out Game Beauty. Beauty inspired by gaming. Game Beauty brings to you video game related makeup and cosmetic products. You have products such as eyeshadow palettes, elemental pearl highlighters, eyeshadow brushes, liquid eyeliner pens by Akideris, and even non-makeup products like graphic tees. They even have special collaboration makeup kits, such as this Persona 5 Heat Wave Brush Single, Metaverse Bundle, and even a Phantom Thieves Limited Edition Makeup Collection. Also remember that Game Beauty provides international shipping of $60 or more. And if you use the promo code BlitzballChamp, all in caps, you can get 10% off of your order. So be sure to use that to your advantage. Now, back to your regularly scheduled video. Enjoy, and thank you. Alrighty. WWE Clash at the Castle Scotland took place Saturday, June 15th at the OVO Hydro in Glasgow, Scotland. Only had 5 matches. They were interesting, but 5 matches for this card. And I must say, the crowd was very much into it from start to finish of the whole show. Indeed. And they have demonstrated why a lot of these countries outside of the U.S. are putting the U.S. crowds to shame with these shows. I mean, it happened at Lyon, France with Backlash. It happened here with Clash at the Castle Scotland. Don't be surprised if Bash at Berlin does the same thing. I'm just saying, too many dead crowds in these shows in the U.S. I mean, let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. Don't mess around. Learn the hard way. All right. Let's jump into it. So, very surprising first match. I actually didn't think they were going to do this match first. But, hey, I'm all for it. So, they started off Clash at the Castle Scotland with the I Quit match for the Undisputed WWE Championship. The champion, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, defended against the phenomenal AJ Styles. Definitely enjoyed this match. Despite it being an I Quit match, I definitely still enjoyed the action in this match. of course, both men got busted open. And I definitely loved how the crowd was behind Cody Rhodes, and AJ Styles really talked a lot of smack, and he interacted with the crowd as well, and even got in the face of Cody's mother, who was on floor level, and even got slapped a few times. So yeah, but yeah, it was a good match, good overall match, and it looked like there were a couple of times where it looked like AJ had the best of Cody and looked like Cody should have quit, but he didn't quit. And same with AJ. It really came down to the wire, but it ended up taking Cody handcuffing AJ Styles to the ring rope, or pretty much to the turnbuckle, ring rope, whichever, and hit him a couple of times with the chair. AJ still wouldn't give up. But it took him threatening him with a set of steel stairs in order for him to yell out, "I quit, I quit, I quit." And then even in doing that and Cody Rhodes retaining, he still hit him with the steel steps anyway. He still hit him with the steel steps. So, which, I'm cool with. I mean, after all, he's kind of, really taking it to Cody Rhodes leading up to this match, even pulling a Mark Henry and doing a fake retirement. And y'all saw how that went. So, but yeah, Cody Rhodes, still your undisputed WWE champion. But then afterwards, as he was walking out of the arena, Solo Sikoa emerges, and then pretty much the other members of the Bloodline started beating down on Cody Rhodes to the point where Randy Orton and Kevin Owens show up for the save. So I'm guessing they're probably going to be setting up, perhaps, 6-man tag action or some sort of, rivalry there. But hey, interesting finish. But a solid match. Despite it being an I Quit match, it was still a really solid match. Alrighty. Let's go to the next match. Like I said, all matches were championship matches. Alrighty, we had the ladies in action. We had the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships on the line, as the champions of Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill defend against Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, as well as the hometown Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, which they really should come up with a name of their tag team. I really do. So, of course, Alba Fire, Isla Dawn pretty much had the crowd on their side throughout the match. Pretty decent match, but Jade unfortunately had some more botchiness later in the match. I don't know why in the world she tried to go for a springboard move and just slipped and completely missed everything. Give her credit for the recovery, but she usually doesn't do springboard moves, so I was kind of shocked that she did that. To be honest, I mean, the match was decent. It was a really, really weird finish. Really weird finish. So, while Jade and Bianca pretty much hit their double team finisher on Shayna Baszler, Isla Dawn sneaks in and German suplexes Jade Cargill, and then just crawls over and covers Shayna Baszler for the 1-2-3. Bam. Like, that was such a weird, wonky kind of finish, but yeah. But just like that, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn are now your two-time. Well, actually, no. Because before they were NXT tag champs. So this is actually their first time as WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, because they, I forgot those titles were technically unified. So yeah, but pretty much you could say this is their second time as tag champs in the WWE. Just put it like that. I was kind of shocked. I didn't think they would pull the trigger. I honestly thought Jade and Bianca were going to win. But then it was mentioned, which kind of explains something, and I totally get it. But apparently, Alba Fire's mother recently passed away. So, with that, plus, her having this opportunity, this big profile match in her home of Scotland, they made it extra special having her and Isla Dunn win the tag titles. So I totally get it. Totally get it. That was a nice little gesture for the WWE. So I know that had to have been very memorable for her. I mean, for the both of them. I mean, they're both Scottish. So, yeah. Didn't see that coming, but hey, I dig it. I definitely dig it. So I don't know if they're going to start the process of splitting up Bianca and Jade. I don't know. And I understand a lot of people expected them to have a longer tag title run, but hey, it'd be that way sometimes. All right, let's move on to the next match. And I got quite a bit to say about this whole fiasco. All right, here we go. All right, we had the Intercontinental Championship on the line as Sami Zayn defended the title against Chad Gable. Okay, first off, solid match. Of course, Chad Gable, great wrestler. Sami Zayn, great wrestler. Good seeing these two duke it out. I know Chad Gable took some time to kind of, set his crew, Maxine Dupree and Otis straight and all that. Even Sami Zayn tried to, reason with them as well. Maxine Dupree was also in a walking boot. And while it may have looked like there were some moments where Chad Gable, had the upper hand, it eventually got to the point where he kind of sort of inadvertently, well, I guess he was kind of thrown into it, inadvertently chop block Maxine Dupree pretty much right next to Otis, or right within Otis's view, and Otis was looking to take out Chad Gable until Maxine motioned for his help, so he went to help Maxine, picked her up, and just carried her out. And it was just like, Chad Gable, you on your own. You on your own. And that would lead to his downfall as Sami Zayn followed up with that exploder, suplex into the turnbuckle, then a haluva kick, 1, 2, 3. Sami Zayn still your Intercontinental Champion. Now, a couple of things with this. Number one, that's now 5 times that Chad Gable has had a shot at the Intercontinental Championship and has lost all 5 times. Something's got to give, y'all. I mean, he couldn't beat Gunther multiple attempts. Something's got to give, y'all. What are y'all doing? And I know word is he just re-signed a new deal with WWE, so he's staying. But it's when are y'all going to pull that trigger on Chad Gable? I truly believe he's been ready to be a singles champion and just... I don't know. Because, Otis still didn't necessarily turn on him. But it's I don't know. And the thing with Otis, man, Otis. I think that dude is going to be a joke for his whole entire time in WWE. I can't take the dude seriously. He's been booked like a joke. His one moment was winning the Money in the Bank, and then what happened? He ended up losing it in a match to The Miz. So it's like he's a joke. Akira Tozawa, while he's a phenomenal wrestler, he's booked like a joke. And Maxine Dupree, don't even get me started on her. But Chad Gable, once again, comes up short. 5th time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what they're gonna do. It's kind of ridiculous, but I don't know. All right. Let's move on to our next match. Back to the ladies. All right. We have the WWE Women's Championship on the line as the champion, Bayley, defended against the homegrown Piper Niven. Of course, she was accompanied by Chelsea Green. Overall, solid match between both of these ladies. Chelsea Green did eventually get kicked out, and then later on came back to the ring again, but this time wearing a Rey Mysterio mask, which was totally unnecessary. Like, that was just dumb. Honestly, it didn't really need all that. But the match itself between Bayley and Piper Niven, great. Really great. I definitely enjoyed it. I didn't expect the finish to be what it was. Bayley hitting a crucifix on Piper Niven and pinning her for the 1, 2, 3. I did not expect that finish. I thought she was eventually going to hit that rose plant, but yeah. Interesting, unexpected finish, but hey, I'll take it. Bayley, still your WWE Women's Champion. But yeah, pretty decent match. Can't really say a lot of bad about it. And then the main event at Clash at the Castle, Scotland, came down to this. This was for the World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Damian Priest, defended against Drew McIntyre with the home field advantage. Now, of course, Drew had the special entrance, with all of those Scottish bagpipe players. Thought that was really cool. Good to see him interact with the crowd. Great match. Definitely great match. Of course, Damian and Drew have faced each other before. They've also teamed up before, so they're familiar with each other. I mean, they're both pretty much the same size. It was really good back and forth. It was good to hear that Damian Priest was all right, even after going for the springboard flip and getting his ankle caught into the rope, getting his foot and ankle caught. Thankfully, he said he was fine, was unharmed, so that's good. But these two definitely went back and forth, and both definitely showed why they deserve to be in the main event. And then, even after a couple of claymores, Drew McIntyre looked to have this one in the bag. He looked to have this one in the bag after dropping Damian with a second claymore. And this was after the ref was down. Drew went for the cover. And CM Punk shows up. Referee gear. Counts 1, counts 2, and refused to count 3. And he made sure that Drew saw him. Drew went to grab CM Punk, took him to the corner. CM Punk delivered a low blow. And that was pretty much all it took. CM Punk got out of there. Damian Priest picked up the scraps. Hit Drew with a South of Heaven chokeslam. Pinned him for the 1-2-3. Damian Priest still your World Heavyweight Champion. And for the second straight Clash at the Castle, Drew McIntyre screwed over. Even to the point where apparently on tonight's Raw, he quit. He apparently quit. Said, screw this company, I quit. Now, here's my thing, because I know a lot of folks are complaining about this. Now, I'm going to break it down to you like this. Don't get me wrong. Does it look bad that he lost 2 back-to-back title opportunities to 2 back-to-back Clash at the Castles? Yeah, it sucks. Last year, lost to Roman. This year, lost to Damian. Does it look bad? Yeah, it sucks. I get it. Totally get it. But I don't understand why folks are still pushing the narrative that this man has yet to win a championship in front of a crowd. Which, number one, isn't even true. Think about it. Let's recap. Have we forgotten that Drew McIntyre is a Triple Crown champion? Have we forgotten that Drew McIntyre is a 2-time WWE champion, 1-time World Heavyweight champion? Have y'all forgotten that? Not to mention, 2 of those, actually both, one WWE championship, one of the 2, and then the World Heavyweight Championship. He won both of those at WrestleManias. 2 WrestleManias. Not to mention, the first WrestleMania, he won the Royal Rumble to even get the opportunity. Drew has been built up really well. The 2 WWE championships. The 1 World Heavyweight Championship. Look at who he had to beat. Brock Lesnar, Randy Orton, Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins being where? WrestleMania in Philly. Lincoln Financial Field. In front of a crowd. So what? That he got it stripped away from him via a Money in the Bank cash-in. But you know whose fault it was? Drew's. You know why? Because he shouldn't have been talking smack to CM Punk. So you know what? It's his own fault. And I don't even like the Money in the Bank concept. Y'all that have watched me long enough know I hate Money in the Bank and I hate the concept of it. But think about it, y'all. He's already achieved that accomplishment of winning the title in front of a live crowd. Not to mention, why are folks acting like the other 2 meant nothing? When one of them was at WrestleMania. So what if it was in Thunderdome? It doesn't not count. Like, that doesn't mean that it should be treated less than any of the others. I could understand if he had never won the title, but he's won the title 3 times. Why are folks still complaining about him not winning the title in front of a crowd? He's won the top title 3 times. 1 World Heavyweight Championship, 2 WWE Championships. Beat Brock Lesnar, beat Randy Orton, beat Seth Rollins. Those are 3 huge names. Did we forget about that? And yet folks are complaining that he hasn't won a title in front of a crowd. Y'all haven't been paying attention, apparently. But whatever. It is what it is. My whole thing, all that this shows is all he had to do was just deal with and get through CM Punk, and then he would eventually get another title. That's it. That's it. I mean, yeah, I understand he got screwed over. I get it. But let's not act like this dude hasn't finally won the title in front of a crowd. Yes, he has. It happened this past April. Just because it didn't happen the way y'all think it should have happened doesn't change the fact that it officially happened. He defeated Seth Rollins. He won the match that was said title match. And then folks want to say it don't mean anything because he ended up losing it on a cash-in from Damian Priest, which happened. You know, it's funny y'all mentioned that. It's funny that y'all mentioned that, but did he or did he not do the exact same thing to win the TNA World Championship? You remember that cash-in he did on Matt Hardy? Did y'all forget about that? Nobody said anything bad about that. Ironic, isn't it? I rest my case. Clash on the Castle Scotland was alright. It was alright. Overall, it was alright. Like I said, the crowd was very much into it, which was really good to see. Especially in a venue which I believe is only about 11,500 capacity, or just about that. So, yeah. It's crazy. But that's all I got for you. That's all I got. And of course, coming up now is their next show is Money in the Bank, which I won't be watching, nor will I be reviewing, because, like I said, I hate Money in the Bank. I hate the concept. I don't even want to have anything to do with Money in the Bank, to be honest with you. But that's the next show, which that's July 6th. But yeah, don't care. But that'll do it for this doubleheader review. Once again, don't forget to check out Game Beauty, and let me know what y'all thought of TNA Against All Odds 2024, as well as WWE Clash at the Castle Scotland. What'd you think of the matches? What'd you think of the outcomes? Let me hear from you. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell while you're at it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. For another Pro Wrestling Talk brought to you by Blitzball Champ Gaming here on the U to the Tube, my name is Jason Ingram. Hope y'all have a blessed evening, and I will see y'all in the next video and our live stream. Take care. Peace out.